Hello YouTube, welcome to the channel. Another video for the fans. Week 5, day 3. So just starting off with some Zercher squats, just singles, light fast singles really. So I'm not going heavy on these. I will be increasing the weight on these in the coming weeks, but because this is a strongman day, it's just a chance to just get some squats in really, so I can try and get a bit of squats in every week, because the previous session I did deadlifts, and I've tried to structure the program so that I'm doing heavy deadlifts one week and then light squats, and then just alternate that. So I'm doing either heavy deadlifts and light squats, or heavy squats and light deadlifts. So this week was the heavy deadlifts, and I did axle bar deficit deadlifts. You can find that video on this channel as well. It was the last video that I did, so if you go through my videos you should be able to find that. That's week 5 day 2, and I worked up to 230 kilos. So today, yeah, just light Zerchers. After that, did barbell hip thrusts. I've really been inspired to do these by watching Sadrunas do them. At this gym that I go to, I normally only see women do this exercise, but if it's good enough for Sadrunas, it's good enough for me, and it is really a good exercise to do. I'm not a fan of it really. I'm not enjoying it at the moment, but maybe if I keep at it. I mean, they're all right really, but it's not one of my favourite exercises. Moving on now to an exercise that is a bit more favoured by me. I do love farmers walks. I prefer farmers holds, so I don't have to move, but I'm doing farmers holds. Sorry, I'm doing farmers walks as opposed to holds, because I've got good grip strength, but I am slow, so I'm electing to do farmers walks instead of farmers holds, just to work on my speed. When I did my strongman competition in November, it was 120 kilos in each hand, but you only had to hold it, and I got 61 seconds in 4th place, and I've also held 165 kilos in each hand for about 20-25 seconds, so I've got the strength to hold it. It's just a matter of just getting faster now. So what I've been doing is every other week I'll be doing farmers for speed. So this is the 3rd and final set. The 64 kilos was just a warm up, and then 2 working sets. So this is the 2nd and final working set at 213 pounds per hand. I know this may not seem like a lot of weight, but I'm not using any chalk, and these are like fast farmers. These are speed farmers. So I'm trying to go down and back in under 17 seconds, and yeah, got 15.6 seconds, so mission accomplished. So I'll definitely be increasing the weight on the farmers the next time that I do that. Moving on now to sandbag over yoke. This is every minute on the minute style, so 1 rep every minute on the minute. I've sped up the rest time so that the video doesn't get too long. So sandbag weighs 230 pounds, and I'm lifting that over a 58.5 inch bar, so that's nearly 5 feet high. I'm 6 feet tall, so that's literally about 13.5 inches shorter than I am, so it's not far off my own height actually, and lifting a sandbag over such a high bar is quite difficult actually. It was very, very hot in the gym today. It was incredibly hot, and you can see that the shutter is open there, but to be honest, it did nothing really. It did not make one little bit of difference. This was hot, this was tough, and like I say, trying to push it over that high bar is not easy, especially in the heat as well. Now, normally, like I say, 105 kilo sandbag isn't really very heavy to me. I've lifted from the floor and shouldered a 160 kilo sandbag. I've done that multiple times now, so 105 kilos is quite light for me now. But to lift it over such a high bar, I think that is actually the highest I've ever lifted a 105 sandbag. I'm not sure. I'd have to check on that one. But this was harder than it normally would be because of the heat. I don't really thrive or perform too well in the heat. My sleep has been suffering a little bit lately because of the heat. I've literally had to have 2 fans on me when I sleep at night, no covers, and even then it's been tough. Last night I got just over 7 hours, which is reasonable, but the day before that I think I only managed about 6.5. Anything under 7.5 hours is bad for me. for some people that might be a lot, but for me, I try to get at least 7.5 to 8 hours. I'd get 9 hours sleep if I could really, but for some reason it's difficult for me to get past 8 hours. For some reason, my body wants to wake up after 8 hours, but I do try to get as much sleep every night as I can. It is very difficult to sleep in the heat, at least for me it is anyway. I would get aircon if I own my own property, but that's not an option at the moment. So yeah, like I say, these sandbags were hard, and we're just about to do the 8th set, and I did kind of not want to stop as such. It wasn't so hard that I wanted to stop, but it definitely wasn't easy for me. See, now I nearly lost it, and there was actually a couple of sets where I did actually nearly lose the sandbag, and luckily I managed to adjust myself and chuck it over. I'm trying to like get good at that, because I remember I did a competition once where I had to carry a sandbag for about 10 metres and then chuck it over the yoke, and I carried it all the way to the yoke bar, but then I dropped it and I had to pick it up, and I wasn't quite quick enough, and unfortunately I didn't get given that last sandbag. I think it was a comp I did about 2 or 3 years ago, and the sandbag was 130 kilos, I think 135 kilos, something like that. Lifting it was no problem, but I had to lift a keg and a sandbag before it. It was the third implement to lift, and I was just shattered by the time I did it, and couldn't quite get it over the yoke bar. I dropped it on the floor. I went to pick it back up again, but unfortunately I'd run out of time. So you don't want to be dropping it, because if you do, you've got to pick it back up again. So I'm trying to like get into the practice of chucking a sandbag over a yoke bar without dropping it. So yeah, it's very, very hot here in the UK at the moment. Today it was literally 28, 29 degrees Celsius. So I think that's about 86 Fahrenheit. So this was set number 12. This was supposed to be the last one. The goal today was to do 12 sets. But I thought, okay, I'm going to make myself suffer just a little bit longer and do one more. So one more for the camera. Set number 13, final one. Here we go, number 13. This was the last one. It was so hot in the gym. It was hard to breathe. Like trying to lift this in an oven, and there we are. That was probably my best set out of the whole lot, actually. It was the last one, so I wanted to make it count. So yeah, definitely going to take it a little bit easy there. I was dying there. It was so hot. So yeah, next time I'll probably look to do a heavier sandbag. So I'm going to sign off now. So thank you guys for watching the video. Please don't forget to like. Any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next time.